So I thought this was interesting. UConn posted a conversation between Dan Hurley, men's basketball coach, and Geno Auriemma, women's basketball coach. And that's a meeting of the minds when you're talking about success at the collegiate level coaching. Happened to be at the same university. And there was one piece of insight, I guess you will, from Geno Auriemma that I thought was interesting. As I said, he talked about a realization he had, I guess a lesson he learned over the years, which is that he can't coach the same way he used to when it comes to demeanor, when it comes to the word he used was anger, that if you are too angry with players, you can cause them to shy away and lose their confidence. And, I give him credit because this is a guy who's had tremendous success, which is going to, build a level of rightful arrogance. But for him to not have the arrogance that makes him say it's my way or the highway and I can't adapt is something commendable. Now, UConn is going to need the results going forward in the future for the fan base to be completely happy about that and not angry. But I did think it was worth pointing out, because Geno Auriemma has been criticized a lot as of late, that it does take a level of maturity and is good coaching to adjust to your personnel and adjust to the relationship that you need to have with your players. Here were the comments that Geno Auriemma had on that UConn YouTube video, which was posted here by the Hoop Herald, but part of that conversation.
The way we act, especially today, the way we act has a huge impact on our players. They're so impressionable because they look at you different than they may have looked at you 5 years ago. So now if you're like killing a kid and you're telling them that they stink, they don't want to fight you a lot of times. They want to just crawl in a hole because a guy that they really admire and look up to just told them that they're horrible. I found out that when I'm on the sideline now, the angrier I get, the more animated I get. If I overdo it, it has a negative impact on my team. It took me a while to realize that.
There's a way you need to coach the training and the preparation in terms of the standards and in terms of the atmosphere. Obviously, then there's a different side that your players need to feel on game night when they, where they need to feel their most confident. Being able to wear those two hats is what makes, I think, the best coaches.
100% agree with that. You got to be a certain way in practice. I think we should stop calling it practice, because other people that do what we do, they call it training. Because what we're doing is we're training our players' minds and their bodies to be a certain way when game time comes. And then the actual training of it is way different than in the game, where they just want to feel like you have their back and that you'll be there for them when they need you.
So I like that, and because I've heard in the past some of Auriemma's former players talk about how he chastised them. I mean, I think I've seen Nafisa Collier say he told her she was the worst defensive player ever and the Cone would play better defense. And not to say other coaches haven't done that. And I've seen it myself in coaching, how you react to certain players can have a different effect on some versus the others. And some can't take yelling, some need positivity. But I did think it was worth sharing. It's not anything extremely revelatory or anything amazing or anything that's going to change anybody's opinion about Geno Auriemma. But a lot of people who are old are completely stuck in their ways, especially when they've had that success. So I did think I'd give him some credit.